So one of the IP addresses was hosting a domain that had been registered in such a way that the whois data contained a hover.com email address. It was under the technical section, and what we believe happened is that they're using a Toronto-based registrar to register domain names for criminal activity, and that perhaps that technical contact information just gets tacked on to every domain that's registered from that place. We clearly didn't mean that the hover.com guys are criminals, but they may be criminals who are using their services when they're registering domains. And
Okay.
that definitely was happening, that a criminal used their service to register a domain. Hopefully they took it down in short order. This particular one, though, we know lived at least 45 days. That was an area that we're really exploring because there are huge data centers in China that are just equal opportunity criminals. They'll take money from whoever has money and host whatever you want. Well, if they're doing that, then these same IP addresses are probably going to be used for other types of crime. And we have seen cases where IP addresses that have been published by the Toronto guys have also been used for other things. Like the example I gave today, where we saw a Citibank phishing website that was on the same IP address that they were saying was collecting information. What does that mean? One theory is that these guys are just criminals who run data centers, and there are many different criminal groups using their data center provider services. But the thing that was interesting about Ghostnet, and again with shadows in the net, there are very specific political groups being targeted where the people who would care most about those seem to be Chinese. So for me, the Ghostnet and the shadows in the cloud report both seem to be indicating it would make sense for Chinese actors to go after this data, whereas it wouldn't make sense for Russian actors to go after that data. I'll show you a headline from today's newspaper, actually. You saw this headline, which was, just talking about the shadows in the net. Some people miss the fact that this headline is actually also related. It doesn't necessarily show up that way, but Maoist separatist groups in India, and if you look at the map, a lot of people miss that. How close is India to China? You got Nepal in between, and that's it. And so if you've got data exfiltration happening that's particularly talking about military capabilities and planning and troop movement and finances in India, and the data is going to China, and then you have military groups who are being supported from China, Maoist separatists, who are being supported from China, we know this, it makes sense that these two activities may be related to each other.